Warm welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. What you are going to be seeing is, well, you can see behind me, I've whipped off the front end that was on there. I was still waiting for some parts to finish the floor, so I thought whilst the car is structurally sound inside now, it's not going to go wobbling about, we'd zip the front end off and check out. I knew there was rust behind the battery tray, so I want to see how bad that actually is, which bits of inner section I need to fabricate and refit, and I will then chuck the front panel on just to check that the new front panel fitment is good, and then we'll see how we end. Isn't really too much left of the original battery tray once I pulled it out. So we've got a new one to go in, but as is typical of some sort of 80s Italian bodgery, there is a nice plate of steel that's just been welded over, well, where the inside panel has gone through there. So I'm going to cut all of this out around here back to fresh metal, and we'll reform a new piece to go in here behind the battery tray, which will butt weld in place to replace all of this grotty bit down here, and then we'll just sand back the rest of it before we prime it. So just kind of laid up the front panel on there, test for fitment. I've chopped out all the rust down here, and I'm just starting the fabrication of a panel to go in there. Still needs a little bit of refining before we can get it in place, but at the very least the front panel all fits now. And so the previous restorer, if I can call them that, didn't actually plug weld this together. They just simply splodged a few tacks kind of along the edges of each bit, which meant it came off quite easily, more easily than it should, and they actually brazed all of this bottom on, so it's all been held on with brass, which is again not ideal, but then we do complain quite a bit about old restorations. However, if they hadn't have been restored badly in the past, they wouldn't be here now for people to attempt to do properly, so can't really complain. But the fit up's actually not too bad for just chucking it on there. I'm using the bonnet kind of as a datum point as to where these should lay, because it fitted properly with the previous one. And we're going to clean up all in here, and I will fit up the new panel in there, and we'll prime, stone chip and paint the inside of the bonnet, sorry, the inside of the front boot thing, before we fit this up. And what I intend to do is to actually punch holes through the inner skin here, and then we'll actually plug weld the front panel on properly, so that it remains on there. The strengthening part down there is fine. The new battery tray should he says confidently fit nicely into where it is supposed to be, which is there. Lays up against that point there, and obviously welds to the structural panel. I'm going to have to build, there's a little leg that comes up from here to there, which unfortunately had rotted through, so I'm going to have to build something up to do a similar job to that. But that is where we'll leave that for today. Front end off, new front end on. So thanks for watching. What I'm going to be doing before the next video is I'm going to be finishing fabricating that inner panel. I'll weld it into place, get the battery tray in, and then we can start priming and painting underneath the front bonnet hood thing, and actually get the front panel fitted finally, and then that part of the front end is all nice and done. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the content, please like, please subscribe, please leave me any comments. Till the next time, take care. Okay, so after I finished shooting the video and doing the end credits, I did actually get round to finishing off this section. So it's welded in now, it's been all seam sealed. I did it in two parts in the end, so this has all been kind of hand shrunk, hammer shrunk along there to tip that curve up, and again we've got a nice flowing curve in here, and again we've welded that along there, and again sort of matched the curve in. You're never going to see this. This has been plug welded in and is now a nice secure battery tray. Just whacked a bit of etch primer over there, and the whole thing is going to be covered in U-Pol Gravitex sort of stone chip paint, and then going to go body colour, and at the same time we'll finish doing all the top here. There is one more bit of rust that needs to be cut out, probably end up being a piece about that sort of size, because otherwise it's going to blow through if I make it too small. But that's where we're at, and when the front panel goes on, when that comes up there, you can't actually see any of that anyway, so it's all sitting in there nicely. and ready for assembly after the paint has been finished.